Hello and welcome to How Mundane, the least interesting place on the internet. Today we've got English One Piece Wings of the Captain booster box. Let's see what we can pull. There's our holo cards in the first pack. Ooh, I see something potentially good in the back of this pack. Yeah. Not as exciting as I thought it was. So as I'm opening these, ask you, the viewer, if you have ever traveled to Japan or have any interest in doing so. I have been fortunate enough to be able to visit Japan a couple of times. And honestly, it is one of my favorite places to visit in the entire world. It really is a lovely country, lovely people, amazing food. A rich and vibrant culture. Really, I got nothing negative to say. There's a Brook Hollow. Nothing negative to say about any of my trips there. I have visited Tokyo the most, I guess, both for fun and for work. And then have also visited other cities like Kyoto and Hiroshima. Oh, there we go. Shanks. And I know a lot of people, when I talk to them about wanting to go to Japan, perhaps it's on their bucket list, but they just feel overwhelmed by primarily the language barrier if you're coming from an English-speaking country, but also just by the, complexity of planning a trip of that magnitude. I mean, flying from the U.S., you're looking at easily, well, I guess it depends on where you're flying from, but close to or more than a dozen hours in the air. And if you're going to be spending that amount of time in a plane, there we go. There's a Sanji. That's a nice one. Obviously, you want to try and make yourself as comfortable as possible. And if I could offer any tips in that regard, first and foremost, I would say more than anything else, bring your own entertainment. Do not rely on what may be working or not on the plane, because I have had plenty of flights where the in-flight entertainment is just simply not working. And had I not brought some of my own entertainment, typically I bring that on an iPad, I would have been very, very bored for the duration. So Luffy. So bring your own entertainment, part one. Part 2 is in conjunction with that entertainment, unless you are just planning to read the whole trip, which I guess, you could read and then take a nap. A comfortable pair of noise-canceling headphones make a world of difference traveling for that length of time. And when I say comfortable, for me in particular, I can't wear in-ear headphones for longer than, 3-ish hours tops. So for me, it has to be a pair of over-the-ear noise-canceling headphones. And there are a number of great options. I think probably the most well-known are the Bose, but Sony makes some excellent ones. Audio-Technica makes some excellent, more affordable ones. Corona. And so it is something I would definitely highly recommend the investment in. The other nice thing about the over-the-ear ones is the battery life does tend to be quite a bit longer. So you can very easily have a pair of over-the-ear headphones that will last for that whole 12, possibly plus hour flight. Whereas the in-ear ones, you'd probably have to take them out for a while, recharge them, put them back in. So my other tip as far as making that travel as comfortable as possible is that it is well worth investing in a pair of compression socks. One of the risks that I guess is probably well known among travelers, but I don't know that it's as well known amongst people who don't have to be on long flights very often, is that there is something called deep vein thrombosis that can come with sitting like that for an extended period of time. So, hey, there's a cool Dawn card. If you're going to be in that plane for that long, the compression socks can help mitigate the risk of deep vein thrombosis. Something you would very much like to avoid. Another Douglas bullet, another Brook. But yeah, beyond that, it's mostly a question of just kind of getting through it. If you have dietary restrictions, I would highly advise contacting your airline to make arrangements beforehand. They can accommodate pretty much everything as long as you let them know in advance. Flying to Japan from the US, quite a few carrier options. Obviously, I think all the major US carriers, American, Delta, United, fly from somewhere. And then the two major Japanese carriers, JAL and ANA, both fly between the US and Japan. JAL being part of the One World Alliance with American, and ANA being part of Star Alliance with Delta. There we go. Check out that Zorro. Wow, that is a nice card. I personally have flown on both American and JAL between the US and Japan. Both were great. I really like the Japanese carriers. Very nice setup to the plane, very nice staff. The food was quite good. So, certainly something to consider if you are looking, but you may just be looking for the best deal, in which case I would think that any carrier should be able to get you there no problem. Beyond that, take some time, check out Reddit, some of the other resources out there to plan your itinerary carefully. The language barrier is not nearly as big a deal as you'd think it would be, particularly if you stay in the bigger cities. If you get out into the countryside, it can be more difficult, but with the number of translation apps and other things available these days, it's actually much more manageable than you would think. And with the Japanese yen being at near historic lows, it's about as good a time as any to go visit Japan for yourself. I would just urge you to be a good tourist and don't do some of the things that you have likely seen some live streamers and YouTubers doing that are just horribly rude to the local people. And completely, really unacceptable for traveling anywhere. Here we go. So there you have it. The Zoro was definitely the big pull out of this box. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for being mundane with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.